expensive. We're staying at room 13. Usually airy and usually very, and that's just how my life goes. And I don't ever try to dress to impress. Fuck you, preppy asshole. On the 14th floor and a bathroom door don't lie. So happy we don't gotta worry about the cops. We could all get arrested for this, but when the bodies mix, I don't give a shit tonight. Alright. Now she walks in the bedroom fast, despite all the noise from the crowd. Now she's bedless on the bathroom sink. Her mother would be so proud. Gets on a deed and there's a line to go pee, but the bathroom looks like a war zone.
Welcome in to episode 55 of Phired Up. I am your host, Dom Consul. Yes, you heard that right. Our regular host, Mike Giletto, he is on vacation with his family. So, I decided I had to come up and pinch hit, right? It's every kid's dream, 12 years old, bottom of the ninth, game 7, 3-2 count. Is he going to come up there? Is he going to hit the grand slam, or is he going to strike out? And, we'll see how it goes. Anyway, welcome into Phired Up. We are a Belly Sports podcast. Hold on. All right, we're with Belly Sports. Okay, I messed up. We're all good. I'm a little flustered. You can ask these guys. This is what happens when you get the insane around the asylum. So we're here. We're doing it. We're live. So this week I decided to do something a little interesting. As everybody knows, we've said the last couple episodes. We have a website. We're writing articles. We're doing pieces. And I decided we're gonna get a couple of our best writers on, and we're gonna talk a little sports. So first up, we got Christian Lucia. What's up, man?
Hey, what's up, man? How you guys doing today?
Good.
My name's Christian, as Dom just alluded to. I've known Dom since I was 12, 11 years old.
Yes.
Dude, I think as you're watching the intro, I think I was with you that night. Victorino hit that grand slam off of Sabathia. I think we were probably walking around South Philly somewhere, just doing something. Possible. So, but yeah, I've known Dom a long time, and really into the Eagles, really into just Philadelphia sports in general. Not much to say. I'm a Delco guy now that I moved out of South Philly. Yeah, Delco proud now. So that's all I got to say about me.
Yep. Next up, we've got Kylie.
What is up? I big Sixers, Phillies, Eagles fan here.
Okay. And you also have your own podcast, right?
I do. It's the Sportsgasm Pod.
Okay, great. And then now we have Josh. What's up, man?
Hey, how are you?
Good. So we're gonna shoot the shit here. We're gonna get into it. We got a lot for this episode. I figure first we kind of start off with the important stuff. The stuff that's still fresh in our minds. The Sixers. They go to Miami game 6 and I'm sorry, they were home.
Oh, they were home.
For game 6. Yes, home for game 6. Sorry about that. Home for game 6, down 3-2, they need a win, and they blow it at home. I definitely want to get your guys' take on that. Jimmy Butler comes out, he plays great. Joel is Joel. He struggled a little bit. Harden struggled a little bit. Look, I want to hear what you guys have to say about this series, and even just game 6, whatever you guys got.
Anybody want to go first?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I don't care. All I can say is that thank goodness for the Phoenix Suns last night.
Yeah, right.
For playing as awful as they did, because that game 6, it just looked like they were completely just drained, out of sync. I saw a video the other day of Maxey throwing stuff on the sideline. It just looked like they were just out of it at that certain point. Jimmy Butler say what you want about the guy. The guy is a warrior. The guy wants to go out there and win. We need that kind of killer on the team, and we don't have that killer mentality, that quote unquote, Kobe mentality that I'm just going to kill you in front of me every day. I think that ultimately, I think that the better team won. The question is, if Embiid is healthy the entire series, does it turn out like that? That's the huge question that's looming.
I even had a conversation with somebody recently. Like, it's Jimmy Butler's not the greatest player in the world. He's probably a top 20 or 25 player, but it's like he is toughness and mental toughness, and he is top 2. And sometimes that's it's not all about talent in the playoffs.
No.
Like it's mental shit. Like so they definitely were missing that, and that separates him from everybody on this roster. So so what do you guys got, Kylie and Josh?
Well, so going back to your question, if Embiid is healthy the entire series, I genuinely think we take at least one game in Miami, the first 2, if Embiid's healthy. And I say that because Miami looked like crap the first 2 games, and we were still in it the entire game. So if Embiid was healthy for at least one of those games, I really think we would have taken it.
Okay.
It sucks, but
yeah. I mean, it's a shame. And I think as a city, like we've said on the show before, like he's a top player in the world. And it kind of sucks the way it happened. Like, we know his body breaks down. We know that unfortunately it comes in those big moments in the playoffs in his career. But this time around, it was just so much different. It was like, like you're not injury prone if you get one concussion. If he's had 5 concussions in his career, it's different. You know what I mean? But somebody elbows you in the face, like we said on the show a couple weeks ago. I told Mike, like, there's a reason why, like, in boxing people don't elbow, like, because it's gonna fucking break your face. You put on a glove, and it's more fair. That's just the way to put it. And getting one concussion in that spot, it doesn't make him injury prone. No. It's just very unfortunate in his career so far. So, anything you got, Josh?
Yeah, obviously a really tough end to a season that looked like it had a lot of promise and was different from years prior.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, I say fuck Pascal Siakam and fuck everyone who defended him.
Right.
Because I think Embiid, when he's healthy, he is arguably the best player on the planet. And I don't see the Heat beating us in a 7-game series with a healthy Embiid.
Absolutely not.
Right. And listen, I even said this to somebody, it was either today or last night, because this person, we had a conversation. I like Chris Paul as a player. He does not. And for years he was telling me that he's a loser, this, that. And last night I had said to him, he's a dead loser. But Luka is a guy that, is a top 5 player in the league, top 4 player in the league. This person agreed with me. And I said, it's kind of crazy that the top 4 players in the world, you could argue, are foreign. And he had said that, I don't think Jokic is, because Jokic doesn't do what Embiid does, like offense, defense, rebounding. Embiid can pass. All you could say is Jokic is a scorer and passer. I mean, we talked about on last week's show too, like the Vorp God. Like, okay, these stupid people behind their desks and their computers and making up numbers and stuff like that. And to a certain extent, it matters a little bit, but just where's the eye test? You know what I mean? The last time that a big man has averaged or has led the league in scoring was 2000 with Shaq. So it's very, very, very unfortunate. And I don't think anybody here can will disagree that he's arguably the best player in the world talent wise. So
I don't know what more he has to do, honestly, at this point.
That's the funny thing. Like, Mike and I have talked about that. It's like Mike has brought that up too. Like, back in February, when it was like we were talking about MVP, or when the MVP really started to heat up, where it was like, if he doesn't win this, like, what else does he have to do? He'll never win it if he doesn't win it this year.
Yeah,
leading the league in scoring,
average of the most 40, and he had the most 40 in 10 games.
Right, and look at this team without him. Look at this team without him on the court. I mean,
well, and that's that's the problem though. That's where I'm just going to disagree with you guys on the Miami series. The team with it, like, they have no bench. I mean, we can say Niang, and Niang's a good player, right? Call it what it is. Matisse can't hit a 3 if you gave him 8 people away.
Yeah.
They have no bench.
It's 5 on 4
you know,
when he on offense.
Yeah,
and
I
Embiid,
did.
yeah, again, sorry.
I did say on Twitter that like the because people are obviously coming up with theories in the off season now, and I'm just like, depth wins championships more than anything, and that is what killed us. With Embiid gone, depth killed us.
Yeah, absolutely. And
Not
go ahead.
Sorry, Don. Niang, he can play on this team. Like, I absolutely want to see Niang back next year. Like, that guy can be, but he's got to be like your 7, your 6 or 7.
That's the issue. That's the issue. He's your best bench player. I mean, you're not going to win series.
Right.
Yeah, you're putting Furkan out there. Like, you're in a game 6, must win, and you got Furkan out there.
Right.
I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know if Doc was trying. Again, it's classic Doc out-coaching himself is what it comes down to. I mean, Spoelstra is a great coach. Hands down, great coach. But, like, how many times is Doc just going to make the wrong decision? Like, you need to lean on the guys that need to be leaned on. And I'm glad that, you know, somebody like Simmons didn't want to play here. Doc didn't bend for that. But when you're in a game 6, like, you better be out there. Like, you don't want to come out of that game. And that's what Jimmy Butler is. Like, Jimmy Butler is standing on that sideline, if that's game 6 on the other side, saying, like, you have to drag me off this field, off this court. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And that's what we need. Like, you need that.
Absolutely. And like I even quote tweeted it on Twitter, like after watching the game, it's like, what was it, like 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter? Whatever they were down, I've taken it out of my mind. But Jimmy Butler goes on the ISO mid-range, hits the rim, gets the rebound over Harden, who couldn't care less about getting the rebound, and Tobias is a little harder to get. Grabs the rebound, and then not only does Jimmy Butler hit the 3, but if you watch it, James Harden takes 1 step, 2 step, 3 steps back, and then Jimmy goes, okay, and he hits a 3 right in his face, and it runs on the court, and the camera pans to him, and he goes, wow, like, really, is that, like, and that's what you love about Jimmy Butler, too, and we're not going to sit here and say how much we love miss Jimmy Butler. We're Philly, you know, screw him, you know, not screw him, but, you know, we're moved on, and you know, we're Philly, we're tough. We don't, you know, love the guy who left us, but it's just, you know, it's that mentality, like you guys said, like it's grabbing that rebound, hitting that shot, and he wants to play against, and he had said it when Embiid missed game 1 and 2, he wants to play against, you know, the best of the best. Mm-hmm. So you're definitely missing that, you know, on this team. And I do think their bench does need a big shakeup. You know, maybe they go out and get Seth Curry again.
That'd be nice.
Agency. He would. I had said since the day they brought him here.
Yeah.
If he's off the bench, he's your 6th or 7th guy. You're in a really good position. It's just unfortunate it didn't really work out that way. So. And then, but yeah, I mean, Josh wrote a really good article. What was that, a couple days ago about who should? Well, I think the article was more a reason why each guy should or should leave. But at the end of each person, he had said, you know, this person should stay or this person should go. But that was a really good read. It was a lot of fun. It was long. It was, you know, good in a good way.
Detailed.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I don't know. That kind of transitions us to that next question where, you know, what do we want to see in this offseason? What do we want to see? Where do we want to see this team go? Whether that's, you know, trades, free agency, where do we want to see the Sixers team, you know, build?
2 big things I really want to see. Andre Drummond back. That is a huge thing I would like to see back. Or, you know, Paul Reed development, but also Seth Curry.
Okay.
Or just depth in general.
No, before the other guys answer, do you think that Drummond gets a starting job somewhere next year? Because I think that's part of the reason why he signs a 1-year deal here.
Right.
You could play behind Embiid. Embiid has been known to be injury prone. If he sits out 20 games, 30 games, whatever it is.
Yeah.
I get to play. I get to play aggressive when he is in, so that it doesn't hurt my foul trouble. I could play my game. I could show what I can really do. It'll get me a big contract next year. I think that's more of the, you know, speed of what he was trying to do.
Yeah.
But I kind of think that maybe he may look, at least in his mind, would like to, try to.
Yeah. I'd like to see him be an expensive backup, though.
Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree.
He's been really good.
Yep. Anything else, you guys? Josh, Chris?
Yeah, I think even if we don't get Seth Curry and Drummond back, we need to add some 3-point shooting, some backup center.
Yeah,
right.
I don't see Drummond coming back, like Dom said, because he used this year with the veteran minimum contract to try and get a bigger contract in the years following.
Yeah.
But any center who's not DeAndre Jordan would be a massive improvement.
Exactly.
Funny thing, actually, really quick. I texted Mike on Friday. So I work in Center City. I'm not going to say where I work or what I do. This is not my income, unfortunately. Hopefully one day, fingers crossed for all of us. So I'm in my building and like there's a FedEx downstairs, and this woman comes up that I work with, and she goes, there's a Sixers player downstairs, and I was like, who? And she was like, I don't know. He used to play for the Nets or the Knicks, and I said, oh, and he's gonna sign here, and I was like, well, the season just ended yesterday, so I doubt that. So, I grab my shit, I run downstairs, 38 floors down, and I look inside FedEx, and who what's that? What's up?
You ran down 38 flights of steps.
Listen, you got to do what you got to do. Now is the elevator. But I did run from the elevator to the FedEx store. I peeked in, and it was 7-foot DeAndre Jordan. He was in FedEx in line. His driver's out front. Dude, this little dude, like pacing around, walking around, like all like stressed out. I'm like, dude, you need like an Ativan, like relax. Like I don't know why he was running around like that, but yeah, it was DeAndre Jordan. So that was pretty cool. But
that's actually
get him
cool.
out of here. Get him out of here. Anything else? Anything else about what we want to see the Sixers add, subtract?
Well, so Tobias Harris has been really great this playoffs. He was really good for us this playoffs. Really came up. He started clicking at the end of the season, into the playoffs. So if we were to unload him, that leaves us a lot of money.
Correct.
I do not want us to get a star player because we have Maxey, Embiid, and Harden. We don't need the stars. We need the role players. That is the biggest thing, and I'm scared they're not going to do that.
Yeah, I'm right on with you. I think Tobias's contract, if you're able to get rid of Tobias's contract, you're able to go get 3 key backups or just role players. Maxey's going to be up for an extension soon. Like that guy, I'm the biggest non-believer of him last year, right? I'm at work, and this team member, wherever I work at, comes up to me and she's like, Maxey's the man. And I'm like, get out of my face. It's Ben Simmons. Like, Ben Simmons is the dude. He's the dude. Like, I eat my words every day for that. Like, that dude is a hustler. He's going to need some money soon.
Right.
I think, and I really do think, like, for Tobias and for the Sixers, it was perfect timing for him to step up big in the playoffs and at the end of the season for us to be able to unload him. And I think that's on Maury's mind. I think he will make a move, something like that. I just hope for Tobias's sake, because I do like Tobias as an overall athlete. I think he's a good guy. He's in the community a lot. He's given back a lot. But I hope they send him to like a place where we'll see him in the championship. And I know I hate to say something like that, but that's where I want to see him go. Like, that's a guy you can root for as long as he's not on like Washington or Brooklyn. But if he's over on like, I don't know, Sacramento, like I'm rooting for Tobias Harris on Sacramento.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. See, okay, so I wouldn't call it a flaming hot take here. How do I word this where I don't offend all three of you with what I'm about to say, or anybody else who's listening? I like Tyrese Maxey a lot. I think he's a very good player. I think he's going to be a very good player. I hope that they could bring in another star with him here. but depending on who it is, I would absolutely move on if I had to win a championship because
from Maxey.
I think Tyrese is. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if you're sitting here telling me Bradley Beal's available, and they want Maxey and Tobias, I love you, Tyrese, but Joel's only got 3-4 years, maybe 5, if that, maybe. I think I bring in Bradley Beal if I have the option. If I have the option, I don't know, and he's a free agent, but it's going to be very hard to sign him with Tobias's contract. So if they could sign and trade somehow, I know the city loves him. I like him a lot. And you're going to need a guy who's here after Embiid.
Right.
But I don't know. I just think I think Embiid is so good that listen, I would give Tyrese another year because I've had a little bit of issues with him this year where, look, he's a 21-year-old kid who is in the NBA who took on a lot this year. Like you guys said, like Chris said, taking over that whole Ben Simmons situation, being the guy before Harden came here. I understand that, but it's almost like the Furkan Shake effect with me. Like they show up every 15 games and the city loves them, and then they absolutely fall apart for 15 games and they stink. And I'm not saying Maxey's a way better player than both of them combined. I just get a little worried with, especially in the playoffs, like game 1 against Toronto, what did he put up, 38? And then he kind of went quiet for a little while. And he kind of did that. Like when Harden first came here, it was the first 3 or 4 games, he was unbelievable. 5 games maybe. And then after that, he kind of just took a step back. He kind of went away for a little while. And it's kind of that roller coaster effect where and I think Harden helps him more than anything, helps his game because he can go to the 2. He was never a 1. So
yeah.
I don't know. I just think in the right situation, I think I absolutely would. I do.
Can I tangent, Dom, real quick?
Yeah, of course.
Mind if I tangent?
Listen, this is what we're here for. We're
I just wanted to make sure. Your thought process there, I can understand what you're thinking, but you just that's Philadelphia's issues, though, is what you just said in a bottle, right? You just compiled. We don't hold on to our talent that's young because we're always thinking that we're right there, and we're not right there.
No.
We are not a Bradley Beal away from winning the championship. You're going to get rid of a young guy. You're going to get rid of you think we're right there. If we just add Beal tomorrow,
if they add Beal and a backup center and maybe a shooter, yeah, absolutely. Because what did Maxey do this series? He was supposed to be the third guy, right? Third or fourth guy?
Fourth guy in a perfect world. Fourth guy with Tobias, with Embiid playing.
But it's not. It's unfortunately it wasn't a perfect world. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying. It's like, and look, I understand he's 21 years old, and this is his second year in the playoffs. The first year where he's a starter. I understand. I get that. But Bradley Beal to me is a top 20 player, top 20, whatever you want to say. Tyrese Maxey is a top 50 player, or even maybe even lower. I don't know, but I just think the experience. Listen, Beal's almost 30. He's ready to win. It's you put him next to Embiid. I mean, and Harden if they bring Harden back, but I think it works out perfectly. I really do. I like Tyrese a lot. I do.
I just think that's just classic Philadelphia culture where you're get rid of the youth and just go bring on this guy. Where you're just
when else have they done that though?
Who, the Sixers?
Just Philly in general. When's the last time Philly really?
I can go back and talk about J.A. Happ. I mean, if we want to talk about back, but that's going back.
Right. No, we could go back to 1900. I'm just saying, but even J.A. Happ, who was he traded for? Was he in the Halliday deal?
No, Jay. He was for I think that was Worley for Ben Revere. He was Michael Bourne, maybe okay. Michael Bourne back in the day.
Right.
Nothing. I just think that's listen. I can see where you're coming from with a Maxey point of view, but I just think that dude is somebody that you cultivate your team around him. That is a culture that you want in there. And I know what you're saying with Embiid being, you maybe have 5 more years of him. That you just need to cultivate that that culture of like, hey, we're gonna grind, we're gonna win with the guys here. Let's not go and grasp superstars. Let's
Right.
just grow and win here. But I do see your point. If Beal's available, I would possibly move for Beal.
You got to think about it, right?
Yeah, of course, absolutely.
And again, it all kind of like depends on the Tobias situation too. It's like, what does he have? A year or two left? Anybody know?
I
off
think
the
he's
top of their
got
head?
2.
It was a 4-year deal when Jimmy Butler left. It's 2 years.
It was 2018,
It's like 1 or 2 years
2020.
left.
2019. Sorry, they traded for him in 2018.
Yeah.
So all right, not a math guy here. So what's
I can't
that? 2
believe it's
years
been
left?
that long.
I think he's got 2 years left.
Okay. Now, it's going to be hard to trade his contract because like a team that's going to look to win, I don't know. Does a team that's looking to win, do they want to take on that contract? They probably already have a big other max deals and things. It's going to be a very hard situation to trade him. So yeah, I think the only way you're going to get Beal or somebody like Beal is, that fresh young meat, Tyrese Maxey. So I am also on board, and this is going to kind of transition to our next topic. I am all on board if they keep Harden and they keep Maxey next to him and they fix that bench up. Great, let's do it. I'm ready to roll. But I guess it's all going to depend on what they do for what we're about to talk about. James Harden. Do we ask him to opt in? Do we ask him to take a couple bucks off? Do we give him the contract? What do we do with James Harden? Whoever wants to start.
We cannot give him the supermax.
No.
We cannot pay him because if we give him the supermax 5 years from now, we're paying him $60 million a year, which is absurd. And he's still a great player. He's still top 30 in the league. But he's not worth $60 million a year when he's 37 years old.
Right.
He's already declining now at a pretty rapid rate. His top speed per game has gone down 2 miles an hour over the last few years. So
I like that. I like that. I like that little nugget.
Yeah, I just learned that today. So there's no way. I mean, maybe if he opts into his player option, it's more short term. That's still $47 million a year though, which is pretty hefty. So
right.
Well,
no,
my thinking.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
My thinking with it is if he opts into this year, that is obviously a massive contract, probably a bit of an overpay. So, but the next year, we have Maxey that needs a contract. So, if he were to opt in this year and then take a small deal to stay with us after that, that's a thing that I've seen a theory, and that obviously be nice. I don't see a world where James Harden doesn't take that big contract,
right?
Just because it's a lot of money that he's not going to get anywhere else.
True, and listen, it's probably going to be his last one. So
exactly.
But if you guys were getting ready to sign, you're a big deal here. Would you say, oh, you know what, I don't want all that money. I don't think anybody would,
exactly.
Right?
But I don't think he'd leave. I think either way, he's staying in Philadelphia. He's not leaving. I don't see him leaving.
My theory around it all revolves around the fact that it gets people in the state. And I know the stadium sells out, but James Harden brings people to the stadium.
Mm-hmm.
You can raise ticket prices. I know that they did.
Even when Embiid is out too. Right.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Right.
They haven't officially said if they're going to raise prices or not, but you get Harden there that his jersey selling out. You got to take a look. If you're Michael Rubin or somebody like that, where you're man, we can afford to pay this guy this amount of money. He's going to sell this stadium out. Mm-hmm. He's going to sell jerseys and he's going to sell memorabilia. You sometimes bite that $47 million. Because you're going to get it back tenfold. Yeah. I think that he needs to take a pay cut, and if he truly is a selfless player, where he's you know what, I'm getting up there in age, I don't have a great reputation in the playoffs. Let's bring some other talent in. That's what I would hope a player like that would do. But again, he sells out. Wells Fargo Center is going to sell out anyway, right? But he sells out the merchandise stand.
Yes.
Which means just as much as selling out the stadium.
I think that for Michael Rubin, it's not only about the money, because obviously he's going to get the money back from signing Harden, but it's about the salary cap as well. And he's not afraid to spend that money, but he wants to win a championship with that money. So it's less about the actual cash and more about what it represents salary wise, I think. I'm sure it's both, of course, but
right now let me throw this little curveball at you guys. So today I guess it was either today or yesterday or something. I had saw something that he said he'd be willing to take a pay cut, possibly, maybe help out the team a little bit to try to win. Now let me ask you this: if you had to choose between the opt-in at the full price, what was it? What did we say?
47.
47. Okay. If you had to take that or a 4-year deal where, I don't know, it was half, maybe not half the max, but not the full max. Like he's taking a pay cut. Which would you rather do? Would you rather him for 1 year full or less on 4 years? Where, I don't know, it wasn't. Would you rather him for 1 year? You know what I'm saying?
I think I'm taking the 4 years with the less than the max. I think that's probably a safer bet. You get to let him ride out the rest of his career. I mean, he is everything that came out from Brooklyn seemed to surround around, Kyrie. And he looks like he's a coachable player, and he looks like he could take on, like, having his mentorship in that building, like that. That's something that I think could help the players as, you draft along the next, 2 years. I know you got a bunch of second round picks that you gave up a ton, but just for a developmental thing, I think it's good to have him in the building as just a person. Because you're not going to, honestly, I don't think they're going to win next year. I mean, I just don't. I don't think that, I still think they're a bench off, like an entire refresh of a bench off.
Okay.
Yeah, that bench needs an upgrade. I honestly, so this team is obviously in win now mode. You have Embiid right at the top of his career. You have Maxey, who is extremely fast and can shoot the three and can get down to the paint, and obviously extremely fast. You need that young guy that can do that, and he's that. And then you have Harden, who I do believe will be back with a better hamstring. He'll be better next year. I really do think he'll be doing that. I really think he'll be back. But trade those picks. We don't need them.
I saw that tweet today.
Yeah. I did tweet that. I do not care about the picks. We were in win now mode. Get that bench. I don't care. Stop wasting time.
Yeah.
Get that bench.
Right. No, I hear you. Josh, anything? We gotta. I want to get another thing. So, what do you think? What do you think?
I agree with Kylie.
Okay.
The picks right now, it's not what we need. Embiid, because of the type of player he is and his, I mean, all tall players have knee and leg and foot and stuff.
Yo, man.
But, right.
he struggled, man.
Oh, yeah. His Embiid's window can snapshot just like that.
Yep.
So I think get those picks away. Get some talent around him. He needs that help. I would hate to see him retire ringless like AI.
And
exactly. That's like, the biggest thing.
Yeah, I like this comment right here. Basketball championship is all about chemistry.
Yes.
And they have to all be on the same page. And I think that was the biggest issue, especially early on with James Harden. Like, and look, they won games. You know what I mean? Like, they went to New York and won the Knicks. And what was it? His first or second game? They won games early on, but like, chemistry takes 10 to 15 games. Like when you trade for a player like him at the deadline, and like that leads right into the playoffs. So like, I definitely want to see if they bring back Harden. It's gonna be good to get that. Get him fresh, get him,
a full off season with us.
Yeah,
I really think he'll be all right.
Yeah. All right. So real quick, last Sixers thing, because I do want to get into the Phillies and I do want to get into the Eagles. Listen, coaching. What do we do here with Glenn? I know they had the presser. I know they sat there and said, yes, he'll be back. But do we think that was like some kind of like, oh, he's sitting right next to me, or do you guys really think Glenn's going to be back? Because on this show, we don't call him the DOC because there's only 2 other docs in the city. And right now, Mike said on the show last week, he's got to win a championship to get that nickname back. But what are we doing with Glenn?
I do think he'll be back.
Okay. Do you want him back?
This could be me.
You waited way too long for that. I don't like that. I don't like that. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
So, coaching changes consistently really screw with the team, the chemistry, and everything.
Right.
So, I mean, looking back on Brett Brown, it was obviously time. More than time. And you don't want to give a coach too much leeway, just you don't want to waste. This could just be the playoff bias just coming in because he coached a fine couple of series aside from the first two DeAndre Jordan.
Right, the rotations weren't like they were the last 10 games of the year. It was just like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, the rotation seemed to actually kind of make sense.
Right.
DeAndre Jordan wasn't playing.
Right. That's
best part.
Yeah.
Best part.
I was gonna go up and be like, "Yo, good shit," but you stink. No.
Yeah. I do think he has to go, but I can see why they would keep him.
Okay. Anybody else?
I think that it's more if he wants to stay or not is my thing. I think if the Lakers Lakers like fully do say like, dude, we want you. Who's not gonna? I know you're not a huge LeBron fan, Tom, but who's not gonna want to go out there? LA, I mean, live out there. I think
I was just there. Yeah, no, I know.
I know.
It's amazing.
And I think he still has a house out there from when he was the Clippers coach. I think it comes down to, is LA going to offer him or offer some sort of, I think he's the only coach in modern era that's been traded. He was traded from Boston to the Clippers, I think.
Right.
Like, does he get traded again to the Lakers? Like, are we doing another trade to the Lakers? Maybe we can get something back from the Lakers for him. I don't know. I think it depends. I think for Philadelphia recently, whoever is in all of their PR departments, all four of them, they do really good jobs of like, yeah, it's all cushiony. Like we all thought Carson Wentz was our guy, and like, he's gone 2 weeks later. Like they say the right thing to make you like, okay, yeah.
It's the Howie Roseman special. Yeah.
Doc's at home drinking a bottle of wine. Like I don't got to worry about where I'm going. Meanwhile, like we don't know what Maury and Elton Brand are thinking.
All of a sudden, Woj tweets out.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, Woj
bombs. Yeah.
I love LA so much that if Doc goes to LA and he needs like a drive, I'll drive for him. I'll be his personal driver.
Right.
I'll walk
I
him
love
there.
LA.
Yeah, right.
Would you say, Josh?
I'll walk him there.
I'll drive him there. I'll be his driver. But all right, what do you think, Josh? What about Glenn?
I hate him.
Okay.
I really think we should get rid of him. We're not going to. I don't know what Daryl Morey sees in him, but he thinks he's a really good coach. I'm not behind the scenes. I don't know what the players think of him.
I don't think they're behind him.
I agree. I saw a bunch of articles that the players were quitting on him as a coach because he was begging them in Game 6 to like fight for their survival, and they just weren't responding well.
Right.
I don't think he's the guy moving forward. I think we will keep him though.
Okay. Yeah, and listen, like the players like that style of coach because the practices are easy. It's not early mornings. Like he's a very veterans coach. But yeah, I agree with you guys. I think I want him gone, but I don't think it happens. So
not this year, at least.
What's that?
Not this year, at least.
No. Right. But yeah, so let's try to get this the stain of the Sixers out of our shirts, and hopefully we have an interesting off season. Hopefully it's all positives, but I
hope so.
Where do we want to go next? We'll go Phillies because let's save the birds for last. Now the Phillies, they obviously the road series, they won 5 of 7 on the West Coast. We've got a win against the Marlins, or 2 wins against the Marlins and 1 loss, and then we've got 3 against the Dodgers and 1 loss against the Dodgers. So they win 2 series. Very, very interesting games. You like to see them 9-0 games, but then you also get like a 4-2 game. So we got an extra inning game here. And let's kind of go off of Kylie's article. Ball go boom, right?
It went boom indeed.
So they're starting to hit the ball. I mean, it's
finally.
What's it? It's May, right? Wow, it's May. So hopefully this warm weather comes, and but what did you guys see from this week? Obviously the West Coast trip, they play late at night, and it's a little hard to, at least especially for me, it's a little hard to stay awake.
It was very difficult staying awake to watch these games to write this article. But the couple of things that really stood out were like Stott had a great series. Bohm was actually great still, which is awesome to see. Harper is heating up.
Yep.
That's scary for other teams. Familia has to go.
I saw your tweet today.
Yeah. It all the time. And it's always something with the bullpen.
Isn't that the story of Philadelphia?
Yes.
The one thing we could say, coming from the Sixers and, just it's always shitty in Philadelphia, right? It's always shitty in Philadelphia. But yeah, no, obviously, like you said, ball go boom, a lot of runs here. Alec Bohm has looked really, really good so far this year, especially defensively. He made a couple snags. Stott, he had that big game in LA and then they sat him the next day. And I don't know. I don't understand that stuff. You know what I mean? Like to me, like, and we'll get into Girardi a little bit, but like, that's the biggest thing with me. It's like, let's find consistency here. Let's find offensively, defensively.
Dude,
let's get these guys in the same order, like every day.
Yeah.
Like it just doesn't make sense.
Don't waste Stott like you did Kingery. Like, just don't do it. Like, you saw it happen already. Like, don't do it again. Please don't do it again.
Before.
Yeah, right. We've seen it. Like, just give the kid the time. Let him get consistent.
My theory was in spring training, they kind of thought that Didi, Stott, or Bohm would shit the bed. And so one of those players would either be in AAA or somewhere other than Philadelphia. But they all had a very good spring training.
Hopefully LA with Doc.
Right. Right. But they all had very, very good spring training games. So they didn't know what to do. And it just kind of has been this story for the beginning of the season.
Right. Yeah, it's great to see too that these bats are starting to come alive. Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. It's like going back to the Kingery thing too, like with Stott and it's like listen, Kingery didn't work out. He's probably never going to work out. But it's like they never really gave him. Not only did they not give him a shot to continue to play, but like they were like, yeah, go play left field, go play center field.
Yeah, consistency.
Yeah.
Like you want to know every day when you're coming in the lineup, like, oh, let me go get my outfielder's glove today. Right. I guess I'm playing left today. Like,
exactly.
Come on, like give the guy. I don't know. I was always just a Kingery guy. I've met him a couple times at my work, and like just a very down to earth dude. Like
I was there for his first career home run, actually.
That's awesome.
All 8 of, or one of the 8. But he seems like a great guy, whatever. But it just, for whatever reason, the Phillies just can't develop, and it didn't work out. And that's what I'm saying. Like I kind of hope Stott, they keep him in that shortstop role, hitting wherever they're hitting him in the lineup, because it changes every day. But
all the time.
Yeah, it's craziness. It's like there's 162 games for a reason. Like, let's find consistency in those 162 games.
Exactly.
And like hitting it. That's the thing. It's like people don't understand. Not people, but like a lot of casuals don't understand. Like, hitting first in the lineup and hitting sixth in the lineup is so much different, because like you're seeing different pitches. Your approach is so much different. First, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, wherever you hit in the line. I mean, if you're hitting seventh or eighth, it's not much different. Even sixth, but it's a lot different than 1, 2, 3. Like each part of the lineup, there's a reason you're in that lineup. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like the first guy leads off. He takes pitches. He knows how to get on base. The second guy, it's basic baseball. Get him to second base. The third guy comes up. I'm going to get on first and third, and then the fourth guy is going to hit us a home run. Like that's, and I just kind of don't feel that way with Girardi anymore. Like,
he doesn't bring energy either.
Right. For a guy that's been around baseball for how long? He's played. He's managed the Yankees. Right. I know. It's very, very, very frustrating. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely good to see the bats starting to come alive a little bit. we knew. Go ahead.
Can we talk about can we get Aaron Nola some run support?
Oh my God! I know.
Can we do something about that, please?
Why is it always when he pitches?
I feel like it's trending Cole Hamels 2.0 almost. Can we get this guy something on the board so he's not 1-6 and you're outsider who don't watch baseball, you're dude, this dude stinks, and you're he's actually having a decent year from a pitching perspective. Can we put runs on the board when he pitches, not when Ranger Suarez is out there pitching?
Right. I'm a huge Nola critic, just because he gives up too many long balls. But he's had a good season. He's had a pretty damn good season. But yeah, it's the run support that we just don't seem to get behind Nola, and it's always Nola.
Right.
Is it they go out there that day and they're our ace is on the mound? Do you think that's what it is? Do you think they're all right?
That's the Mets and DeGrom.
Yeah,
it's every day they're just we're just not going to play today. It's good for us, but
free W, they think.
Right. And look, this Phillies team, we knew that they were going to score a lot of runs. The ball was going to go boom. We knew that was going to happen. We knew they were going to be putrid on defense, and the pitching was going to be somewhere in the middle, whether that's really bad or really good. And I guess we're starting to kind of see all of it come together, where the hitting is starting. They're starting to hit the ball. The defense is playing a lot better than we expected. Is Alec Boehm, guys like that. And they're getting pitching. It's just like you guys said, it's Aaron Nola's on the mound tonight. Yeah, we're not going to do anything. So, yeah,
are they a playoff team, Dom?
I think it's too early to tell.
Yeah,
it's too early to tell because, listen, it is a late spring training. Usually the first month of baseball, it's sloppy. You're working things out. You're ironing things out. I just think it's too early to tell. I think they could be a playoff team if they desperately need a leadoff hitter, bad. The whole Schwarber thing, I never understood it. I understand that he gets on. He's good. OPS is good. He gets on base before he came here. I get that, but I want a center fielder who can lead. That's the thing. It's the last 5 years they wanted Starling Marte and they just didn't get Starling Marte. So, I think they definitely need a leadoff hitter and more pitching, and I think they could compete.
So are they sellers? Are they sellers or buyers at the trade deadline? I know it's early to say, but I don't know. I think that if you're saying they need pitchers, you're saying that they're going to be buyers if they're that close. Is what I would assume.
Correct
at this point.
Now listen, the rest of this schedule, the rest of this month is going to be tough. They play.
Yes.
We said it. We said it on the last show. They play the Giants, they play the Padres, they play the Dodgers again, right?
I'll be at that game on Saturday.
Okay. All right. There you go. Where are you sitting?
I don't know yet. I haven't got the tickets yet.
I got you. It's gonna be a tough month, and then I think next month, the beginning of next month might be a little tough too. I can't think off the top of my head, but it's this next month's really gonna tell you a lot. Mike and I said on the show last week, this next week is gonna tell you a lot too. And listen, they won 2 series on the road. I know Seattle was about at the same position. I think we had the same record going into the Seattle series. But the Dodgers aren't even though they're not playing great this year. They're scary on paper.
They are.
So that's the thing. It's on Sunday. It's they lose the series and oh shit, and then it's you wake up Monday and you're you know what? They won 3 of 4. They should have won 4 of 4. It's hard to get 4-game sweeps in baseball. So yeah, I just think it's too early to tell. Let's see how this next month goes. Let's see how. And I said on the show a few weeks ago, let's see how when it gets warm out, when it gets warm out and the ball starts flying a little bit more, ball go boom. Let's see how they look then.
Yeah.
Before I could say.
I'm hoping we're buyers, but.
Yeah, me too. Every year, that's what we hope.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. Anything else on that? Anybody? So Now that kind of brings me to this next question. Again, we might not know until a month from now with how the schedule looks. But man, Joe Girardi, a week ago we were calling for his head, and now he wins 2 series on the road on the West Coast against one of the best teams in baseball, arguably. Did he save his job?
No.
Okay. Why do you say no?
Because this is the team that we're supposed to have.
Okay.
We got Castellanos, we got Schwarber, we obviously have Harper. We got these guys to come in and make ball go boom.
Okay.
So it's the lack of energy this team has. It's the lack of leadership that this team currently has, pretty much, that I just don't see from the 2008 Phillies. We're just missing a lot of that energy, and I do not see Girardi having any of that. And we need that in a manager. You're not supposed to, like, against with Angel Hernandez
oh
as
my
the umpire.
goodness.
Yeah, the Mets series, yeah.
If I'm the manager, I am going out and getting ejected the second inning. Like, you're not going to see me waiting until Schwarber gets ejected to come out, and then me not even get ejected for him getting ejected.
Side note too. I mean, Schwarber's he's here forever. Like he's Philly forever for that, right?
Exactly.
I mean,
doesn't get more Philly than that.
Right. I was hoping he'd dust the dirt on him and throw the paint,
whatever
he's got to do. But
that's the actual thing. I mean, you're right. Why are you not out there when you're obviously Angel Hernandez is famous for calling awful games, right? You have a guy that just strikes out. He's yelling his head off. Charlie Manuel might have took him double the time to get out there that Girardi did, but like Manuel would be out there, and I think it was Pete McCannon would be handed the book, or Rich Duvey would be handed the book as he was going back in. Like,
right.
You have to do that for your team. Like, you have to show up for your team so they know that you're back. Like they have your back, you have their back.
Bring that energy.
Agree. They don't have that big winner energy right now. We hit home runs, we get on base, we hit home runs, and that's what we get paid to do. But like, there's no like grinding it out. Like, Charlie Manuel benched Jimmy Rollins, right?
Yeah.
I mean, as Dom called him, and I agree, a future Hall of Famer. Like that, Girardi would never do that. I don't think he has the gusto to do that. He won't take the repercussions back to that. Like, there's no respect back given to him.
No.
No, I agree with that. Yeah, I don't. Again, it's all going to depend on how the rest of this month goes. With did he save his job? I don't even know if his job was on the line. I just mean from Philly fans. Obviously, we've been calling for a lot of these coaches' heads.
Right.
But it's 2 straight teams that we're talking about, that it's like not getting their teams ready to go, not being fired up for their team. Hashtag fired up.
My also big issue is leaving Familia in too long, leaving Alvarado in too long. Like, if you know these guys are just don't have it, get them to that third batter that's apparently required now, and get them out.
Right.
We can't treat every game like the playoffs. You got to win.
And that's the thing. Like, Mike and I talk about all the time. It's like, it's so hard for managers to win you games. Like, managers don't win you games.
Yeah, no, they lose
you a
lot of games.
So, and those are just a couple in the last 3 years, 4 years, whatever, however long he's been here. So yeah, no, it's definitely frustrating. Again, let's see how this next month goes. Let's play it by these next couple weeks. To see what where they go from here. And like I like what you said, Kylie. Like, they were supposed to be this way. They were supposed the ball was supposed to go boom. So
you go over the luxury tax. I expect you to do this. I mean,
exactly.
I'm not complaining though. I love it. I stayed up till 2:30 in the morning for this freaking game. I'm okay with it.
Right.
But this was expected.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's really not much more to talk about the Phillies. Except really, like, and again, let's see how this next month goes. But where do we see this team going from here on out? You're especially especially because it's interesting because like the way the first month is gone versus the last week, it's like it's like a 180 like
night and day.
turn. Yeah, so like what are we expecting from this team going forward?
I think it depends on Girardi.
Yeah.
How long we keep him, because obviously the potential to be a playoff team, absolutely there.
Yeah.
Right.
But if Girardi keeps doing his thing, they're not going to be in the playoffs. So if they get rid of him, as they should, in a timely manner, I see this team going to the playoffs. And then in the playoffs, it's the playoffs. You don't know how far they go.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, they have to get rid of him.
But and that's the goal right now is like get to the playoffs. It's not even winning like we want to win a World Series, obviously, but like this team hasn't been to the playoffs in 11
12
years.
12.
Yeah, 12 years.
12 years.
Again, not a math guy, but you know, it's like that's like the first step. You know, it's like the beginning of the Embiid, and you know, we're not going to name names here. 25, but
Rick Simmons.
It was like early on. It was like the goal is just to get to the playoffs and maybe win a series. You know, it's the same thing with the Phillies now. Just you know, let's try to get to the playoffs and maybe win a series. And in future years, let's see if they could go further and further as they build. But
when you sign Harper to that 13-year deal, and then you sign Castellanos and Schwarber, you were telling Harper and those two that you plan on making some noise come October. Not necessarily win a World Series given this roster.
But let's get to October.
Get to October.
Right. Yeah. No, I say it all the time. You know, it was so much fun waking up, watching a 1:00 Eagles game and then a 7:00 Phillies playoff game. Like that's
exactly. There's nothing better.
I missed 2008, 2009, 2010. Dude. You know, so
2008 especially.
Yep. Absolutely. But yeah, I mean, I think that's really all we got for the Phillies right now. Let's see. You know, let's see how this next month goes. It's going to be.
It was great for their confidence.
Yes, absolutely. And somebody pointed out too on here that in the comments that you know, like I had said, the weather gets warmer, the ball go boom. I love that, by the way. I don't know if you've noticed. I've said it about 10 times. But,
I love it.
All right, that could transition us to let's talk some birds. Now, was it last week? The Eagles' schedule release. The whole NFL released their schedule. I kind of want to get your guys' opinion because listen, it's quiet season for the NFL. You know, obviously we had the draft last week. Chris's article is doing numbers for us. But it's a little bit of a quiet season. But Mike and I, you know, we talk about the Eagles whenever we can every week. So I kind of want to get your guys' opinion on, you know, this upcoming season. What are we expecting? You know, what are we looking forward to? And then we're gonna go through the schedule. But yeah, I mean, if whoever wants to go first, what are we looking at this year?
A very interesting season.
I'm looking at NFC East champions. That's honestly where I'm going. Okay. I'm going NFC East. I know it's. I think, and when we talk about the schedule, I think that'll really be able to how I can back it up. But I have said it all along. I am not a Jalen Hurts guy. I'm just like
I'm not either.
Not thought. Yeah, Mike, I agree. I think 11-6 that's where I texted Dom the other day. I think 11 wins as well. But I just do not think that Jalen Hurts, though, I got to commend him. Like, that's a dude that people want to run through a wall for, and that's commendable. Like, I don't like him personally. I don't think
as a player. Right.
But if you got a guy that's like these players are willing to run through wall for him, I will stand behind him. Like I will
to a certain extent.
To a certain extent, but I think like if he learns how to actually run the RPO, if they can stretch the field, if AJ Brown, like that dude can just maneuver his body to be open, it just takes so much pressure off of Devontae Smith where he can just run these quick outs, these twitch moves, these moves that are going to get him 15-yard chunk plays. AJ Brown can finish the game all I care with 3 catches and 50 yards, and the Eagles can win 21-0.
Yeah.
Sorry, they're not going to shut anybody out. It's like 21-14.
Well, with
Yeah.
these linebackers, man, I don't know. You never know.
Yeah, I mean, so AJ Brown was a huge addition, not only because he's a very, very good wide receiver, but because he opens up so much for not only Devontae Smith, Quez Watkins is literally the 4th option.
Yes.
Or
Dallas Goedert.
Dallas Goedert, the 3rd option, or Greg Ward between Quez Watkins and Greg Ward, switching up between the 3rd wide receiver. Like, it opens up so much for the other guys. Just because you're gonna have Trevon Diggs allowing 100 yards to either Devontae Smith or AJ Brown.
Right.
Pick one. It's gonna
pick your
happen.
poison.
Exactly.
Yeah, pick your poison.
It's just gonna happen. The offense, and then Hurts is able to run. That is a big thing too. But I do want to see him have better pocket awareness and more accuracy.
Okay.
I
Now,
expect those
Josh.
things to happen.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I expect those things to happen as he is only a 3rd-year quarterback
Right.
in the NFL. So I expect those things to happen. I won't be surprised. But I just would like to see that happen.
Okay.
I'm a little contrary on Jalen Hurts. I truly think he can be.
Yeah, I've read your stuff.
Yep.
I was waiting for you to chime in. I was looking at you as I was speaking.
Well, that's why when Chris said he wasn't a Hurts guy, and then Kylie said it, and I slipped it in there because I knew where we were going to go with this. That's why I kind of happy Josh is going last year.
I think if you look at him, any player who has a locker room ready to run through a brick wall, I think I'm a big fan of those players. He has such a great work ethic. If you look at
that's why I think he can do well.
Oh yeah, he absolutely can. Right now, he's not there. I don't think any Hurts fan is saying that this version of Jalen Hurts can go out and win you a Super Bowl.
That's fair.
But because of how he is mentally, because of his work ethic, because of how he commands that locker room, I really think he can progress to be a top 10, top 5 quarterback in the league. Obviously, he needs to stay in the pocket longer.
We'll get there. Let him finish. Let him finish. I have something I want to say as well when you're finished. But go ahead. Keep going.
He needs to stay in the pocket longer. He has to trust his offensive line more, which he should, because the Eagles have had consistently great
arguably the best
lines.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Over the last 20 years.
And the best coach.
Right. I love Jeff Stoutland so much.
Yeah, he's an awesome coach.
He's great.
Yeah, they need to triple his salary or something.
Keep him forever.
But I really do think he can be that guy if he keeps progressing. And I think we'll see with AJ Brown, but hopefully this turns into like a Tyrese Maxey couple years from now, where you'll look back and have to eat your words. Because
I hope that's right. Like I hope you're right.
I do too. I don't want to waste draft assets next year on a quarterback. I do not want to do that.
Plus next year, like say they do that. Like say they Hurts isn't the guy, and next year they trade these 2 picks up and they move up to get a guy, and then it's like you got to wait another 2 or 3 years for this guy to hopefully develop. And rookies never. I don't think a rookie's ever made the Super Bowl. I don't think a rookie's ever made the Easter the NFC Championship or AFC Championship games.
I think Dan Marino did.
Okay, so so one, right? So like right. So like never made a Super Bowl. Like it's so hard to be a 2nd-year quarterback making a Super Bowl. Russell Wilson, obviously. I think we said on the show like a while ago. There's like 6 or 7 that have made their respective championship games, their conference championship games. So like it's you're just kind of hoping that Hurts is that guy because we've got to go through that again.
Yeah.
It's
it's
draining.
Not only that, but you have so many assets to make this team so much better next year if Hurts develops like he should.
Right.
So many assets to go, get if we don't get what's his name from that just got cut by the Giants?
Bradbury.
Yeah. If we don't get him, you can get a corner too, or like you can get other options if Hurts turns out to be the guy we need him to be.
Right. Now, go ahead. Sorry.
No, so you can add just so much more if he turns out to be the guy.
Right. Now, I want to kind of backtrack a little bit to what, because Chris said it when he first started talking about the Eagles and Jalen Hurts, and then Josh also said it as well. These guys run through a brick wall for Jalen Hurts, and I think that's great. And I like Jalen, the guy. I like what's in between his ears. I don't think it translates. And like you said, I don't think any Jalen Hurts fan or any Eagles fan thinks this is the best version of him. But I think that's great that guys will run through the wall for him. It's just I want a guy that's going to win me games, and I hope that's him. Like I do hope that's him. I hope
of course.
the reasons that I've listed. But I don't think I think it matters to a certain degree that a guy wants to come here because of Jalen Hurts. Listen, Alshon came here because of Wentz, and we know how that ended. But there were guys who came here for Carson Wentz. There were guys who came here for Donovan McNabb. There were guys, and it not always ends well, but I just want a guy that's going to go out there and win me games. Like obviously, like Deshaun Watson, for example. Like obviously an absolute creep. You don't want that in your locker room, things like that. But those are the guys on the field. Like those are the guys that are going to win you games because of his talent. Like obviously we can't say Tom Brady because he's the GOAT, but like you know what I mean. Like Aaron Rodgers. Like, and again, he's probably the most talented quarterback of all time. Not the best, just the most talented. But like I'm trying to think of guys that are like Russell Wilson. He's going to win you games. Like Deshaun Watson on the field was going to win you games. Like I want that. Like it's and if you do that, I think that's what brings people to a team too. Like people saw the way that Carson played his rookie year, and they said, "Oh, I want to go play for him." Like I think it's great that his personality brings guys in. He's friends with these guys. I just think that even if he was a douchebag, and he was on that was the issue with Wentz. He was a douchebag, but like he didn't go out there and win games. Like if you go out there and win games, Aaron Rodgers is a real douchebag, but he goes out there and he wins games. So like that's what I'm looking for, and I don't know if Hurts has that.
Yeah, and just to piggy. No, good, Josh. You're good, buddy.
I was just gonna say with Deshaun Watson, I would rather watch the Eagles go 0-17 with Jalen Hurts than have Deshaun Watson in my life.
No, absolutely. I was just saying, like I was trying to think of a guy who's very good, who could win you games, but isn't like Aaron Rodgers or Tom Brady or whatever,
I was reading a transcript of a podcast today, and something that you brought up, Josh, was something that really stuck in my head because you just said he works really hard. He's a hard worker. He works really hard. Do you know who John D. Filippo said the hardest working quarterback he ever worked with was?
No.
Nate the Great Sudfeld. So working hard does not always necessarily mean the talent's there. He doesn't have the arm to get it down the field. I know he's working with Tom House this summer, and I know that Tom House is known to, his thing is you put a guy before, he trains with me, this is his stats after. But I don't know if you can train arm strength and predictability to know where to place the ball when get done.
No, go ahead.
You can't teach that. I think that's an innate responsibility. I mean, an innate thing that happens. Listen, Nick Saban, say what you want. The dude didn't see it in Jalen Hurts, right? He gave it to Tua, and we all think Tua is a bench player. I know I do. I don't think he's a starter in the NFL. Nick Saban didn't see it. I mean, there's something there that I would love to have him as my 2. He could win a couple games as my 2.
Right, and that's the thing with Hurts too. It's like how like it's a list of things. It's not just like one or two things that he like. It's the pocket awareness. It's the when to slide, when not to slide. It's the It's the arm strength. It's the decision making. It's the it's a long list. And like again, I hope he figures it all out. And listen, I'm not saying he's got to figure like 2 of them out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and listen, he's played 25 games. I mean, that's I would say it's a lot, but it's around the point where you're saying, okay, is this guy good or not? Again, bring him in next year. He's the guy. I want to see one final year. He's probably not going to figure it all out, but he's got a lot to figure out.
Just show improvement. It's all I'm asking.
Right. And like you said, Chris, like it's really hard to get to learn arm accuracy. Like it's it could happen, but how much is it going to get like how much better is it going to get really? Like
hopefully we wouldn't need to do that. Like if we can actually run a correct offense that I think Sirianni wants to run, where we don't necessarily have to stretch the field all the time.
Right.
And it's more those quick hitters, those RPOs. Like Tom Brady doesn't have the best deep arm. Just to give Jalen, take a little slack off of Jalen Hurts. He doesn't have the best deep arm, but he can hit those intermediate throws. Jalen Hurts can't hit those intermediate throws. He's like when you have a rookie that's standing there and he's like frustrated and he's like, I'm open, like pass it to me. Like me and you were at that game and Devontae Smith is standing in the end zone, like jumping up and
3
down.
times. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, like it happens like 3 or 4 times a game. It's like the first drive of the game, and like he's wide open down the sideline, and it's like, and that's the thing is like I don't think it's like Hurts doesn't see him. I think it's Hurts just knows that he can't get the ball there, and like that's the issue. Like I want a quarterback to win me games. I don't want. My biggest fear with Jalen Hurts is he's going to be just good enough to get a contract to be Tony Romo or Ryan Tannehill, or that's my fear with Jalen Hurts. I like the dude a lot. I think he's an A+ guy. I think he's a great leader. That's all great and fantastic. Like I said, we brought up before. They want to run through the wall for him. That's great. It's just,
but you got to be good.
Yeah, you got to be good. You got to be good in this league, and I think he's just average.
Dom, you know what I'm thinking now that I'm just like reflecting right now. Like somebody like Jalen Hurts, maybe the reason why he hasn't made that step yet, and I'm just like thinking about it, is in college, if you're better than that guy in front of you, you're going to beat them 75, 80% of the time, right?
Right.
In the NFL, if you're better than that guy in front of you, you're maybe beating them 55% of the time. That might be why he's throwing it to Goddard in triple coverage, because in college he had Calcaterra there, our new tight end that was beating 3 guys. Like maybe that's what it is. Maybe he hasn't had that mental unlock yet where he's like, I can't just read. I got to go first progression, second progression, third progression, then go. It's not first progression, go. He's got to make sure he's reading. Maybe that's if he can unlock that, maybe that's what he needs.
Well, that's the thing. It's like year 1 into year 2, you kind of hope he makes that transition. I know he played 4 games, whatever it was his rookie year. I get it. That's why I'm kind of hoping
with Travis Fulgham.
Travis Fulgham and J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. I get it. That's why I'm kind of hoping it's year 2 into year 3 instead. Because usually it happens year 1. Look at Goff. I mean, I know Goff stinks, but like he got a lot better from year 1 to year 2. Carson Wentz got a lot better from year 1 to year 2. That's another story. What happened after? But that transition usually comes from year 1 to year 2, and it's like hopefully it comes this year with him. Hopefully, I'm hoping because, like we said, I like the guy. I just don't want to have to start over. I don't.
Yeah, absolutely not.
So, all right. Well, like I said, the schedule release. You guys want to break? We don't have much time left to actually break it down, but if we want to go through it real quick, if you guys are up for that.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
All right. So my computer is loading. It's very slow. Talks among yourselves, just like Mike always says. All right, so here we go. We got 3 preseason games: the Jets at Cleveland, at Miami. That's whatever. All right, so we start the season off at Detroit at 1 p.m. What are we seeing here? Again, a quick overview because we're running out of time.
I want to know.
Okay. All right, I like it. Then Monday Night Football. The last time the Eagles played Minnesota at Monday night was 2004. It was week 2, and the Eagles just brought in T.O. So can we have a repeat with A.J. Brown?
So what I'm hearing is we're going to the Super Bowl this year.
After 2 games, it looks like.
Listen, let me say one thing about the Vikings, right, real quick while we're on it.
Yeah.
If we play the Vikings anywhere from week 10 on, I think that we're in trouble. I think since we're getting them week 2, I think it's a win. They're getting that new defense. They're switching from a 4-3 to a 3-4. They
New
got
coach.
Kevin O'Connell, so he's running his new plays. They do have some weapons like Amon St. Brown, Josh Reynolds is coming back. Hawkinson's pretty good.
Okay.
Wait, I'm
That's
so
the
sorry.
Lions.
I'm
Yeah.
talking about the Lions.
Yeah. I got you.
Even
I got
worse. Sorry.
you.
Jefferson, Thielen, and
Right.
Dalvin Cook. Kirk Cousins can still sling the ball with the best of them. Is Epps going to be able to catch up with Jefferson as he's gritty and in the end zone? So
Right.
that's just my little tidbit, real quick.
Yeah, we could do that every couple teams. We're not pushing, we're not like pressing for time here, but like we got to wrap up soon. All right, week 3. We go to Washington. It's the first game we play. Oh, really? Okay. All right. I've heard it's a dump.
It is
stadium.
definitely a dump.
Yeah. Listen, it's time to face them. It's time to face Carson Wentz. We got a 1:00 game at Washington. What are we doing here?
I hope Wentz does well, but
you hope Wentz does well?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So
But,
what do we got here? Are we going 2-1 or 3-0 here?
I think I'm going with a loss in Washington.
Yeah.
Okay. Division games are always hard. Okay.
It could go either way. Like it wouldn't surprise me either way.
I think Washington's a sneaky, decent team.
Yeah.
Defensively. Week 4, we've got 1:00 against Jacksonville.
That's a win.
Dougie P comes home.
That's a win. That's a dub.
Okay. Then we've got at Arizona, 4:25.
D-Hop is still suspended. Win.
Yep.
Okay.
I have that as a loss.
Okay.
Cliff Kingsbury always starts out his seasons well, dating back
That's
the
true.
last 10 years in college. So yeah, I think that's a win.
That's fair. And
Or a
then
loss.
plus, yeah, I got you. Plus, that's they have a lot of weapons. Hollywood Brown just went there. We'll see how Kyler plays. Week 6, we've got the Cowboys Sunday Night Football. Finally, it's back. We missed it for a year last year. It was the first time, 11 years that we didn't play Dallas on Sunday night. So we've got Dallas Sunday Night Football, week 6, at home.
In Philly.
Correct.
I think it's a win.
I think it's a win.
For sure.
Okay. All right. I see. There's 4 of us, so I don't know what our record is right now. But it's a lot of wins so far.
It is.
Then week 7, we got the bye. Week 8.
A favorable schedule.
What's that?
We have a favorable schedule.
Yeah, true. Yeah, it's like the third. Or
We
fourth
do
in the
start.
league.
We start off the year easy this year and get harder. At last year, it's the opposite of last
You're
year.
right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, because we play a shitty division and a shitty division. And we played a lot of the division. We always play the division late in the year.
Yeah.
All right, so week 7 is a bye. Week 8, we've got 1:00 home against Pittsburgh. I think that's a win.
That's a win.
It
No doubt.
It depends. I'm going to go with it depends on who's quarterbacking for the Steelers.
Is it Mitch?
If it's Mitch, I think they're winning, Dom.
Okay.
If it's Mitch, I think they're winning. I think Pittsburgh just knows how to win. I was listening to a stat today that said whenever Pittsburgh plays in Philly, Philly wins. Whenever Philly plays in Pittsburgh, Pittsburgh wins.
Right.
But I think it depends on who's at quarterback. Mitch Trubisky was written off in Chicago.
Yeah.
I think he's coming with that chip on his shoulder after being behind Josh Allen for a year. I'm sure Allen taught him. He learned some things from the room up there from Dable. I mean, Dable's a head coach now, so it depends on who's quarterbacking. They added weapons. I know they lost Juju, but George Pickens in the draft, like in the 3rd round, like that is quality pick right there. Then you got
they always draft well. They always draft well.
Yeah, and Najee Harris, like that dude's like Alvin Kamara 2.0. Might be better. Might be better than Alvin Kamara.
All right, so week 9, we go Thursday Night Football at the Houston Texans.
Awful schedule. Awful. Why do they do this on Thursday?
Like,
why do they? Like, this is they put 5 Eagles on 5 primetime games. this year.
Just be
if
happy
you
with
take
an
a look.
easy win.
Yeah, but that's just something like that just screams trap game to me for some
Fair.
reason.
Thursday night
that just
sucks.
yeah. And you're
Just in
coming
general.
off Pittsburgh. You're coming off at Pittsburgh. I mean, at Philly against Pittsburgh. That could be like just a nice like punch in the gut game where it's like grueling it out. And then, you got Long Neck down there in Houston slinging the ball.
Right.
I don't know. I think it's a win, but I think it's going to be one of those games where we're talking about it the next day. Yeah, where we're talking about it the next day, like what happened.
Right.
Yeah, that's fair.
All right. So after the Thursday night game against Houston, we wait 11 days to watch them play football again on Monday Night Football. That sucks ass. They play Monday Night Football at home against. He makes his return to Philadelphia. Carson Wentz and the Washington Commanders. What do we got here? I think that 11 days really helps a lot.
It definitely does.
I think it's a win in Philadelphia. I think Wentz will
does he even
play? Wentz will receive a pretty bad welcoming to the city, and
he shouldn't, but he will.
I totally agree with you. I'm a Carson Wentz fan. At the end of the day, I want to see him win before. Now that he's on Washington, I don't care for him anymore. But when he was on Indy, I did want him to win in Indy.
Yeah,
but I just don't see him doing well at the Link. He didn't do well at the Link when he played for the Eagles. So what makes us think he's going to do well when he's playing for Washington?
Because that's how Philadelphia sports always seems to work.
I mean, you are right. You are right.
It's always shitty in Philadelphia.
Right.
Yeah, no, I hear you guys. And then the following week, actually talking about Carson Wentz and the Indianapolis Colts, if he was still playing there, I was tossing around the idea of trying to go there.
I was
for
too.
This game.
Indianapolis, beautiful city. It is a great city. I went there for the Big Ten championship. Just a cool city.
Right. So the next following week to go to Indianapolis, 1:00. That is the week before Thanksgiving or the Sunday before Thanksgiving, maybe. So at Indy, 1:00. What are we thinking?
Loss. Okay.
I agree.
I don't think Matt Ryan's gonna do as well as everybody thinks.
Okay, that's fair. I wish we could get more into it, but again, we're kind of running out of time here. So then we got home. I guess a Sunday night game against Green Bay, 8:20 at home. It's gonna be a tough one.
It's a loss.
Okay.
I'm going win.
Really?
Yeah.
Kylie, I think you have the Eagles right now with no losses.
I know.
Take those green tinted glasses off.
No, I have the losses against Washington. I don't have faith in Indy, but I do think Indy will win. But I don't know. This team just can do so well or do so terrible.
Yeah.
Right. Like Mike said in the comments, it's all about which Jalen Hurts we get.
Yeah, and Green Bay didn't impress me last year.
Right.
So they're really not going to impress me this year.
Okay, fair enough.
Sammy Watkins, like.
Right. And then did they draft a receiver?
They did.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it wasn't the first round.
Right. Well, neither does Devontae Adams was in the first round. He used the second round.
That's fair.
Okay, next up we've got December 4th, Sunday afternoon game against the Tennessee Titans. A.J. Brown plays his former team.
In Philly, correct?
In Philly, yep.
In Philly. I will like to say that that's a win because the simple fact that Jordan Davis by that time will be fully ready to go and hopefully stopping King Henry from running him and Nakobe Dean.
Or is he stopping Willis playing quarterback? Uh-oh.
I don't know about that.
We might have a quarterback controversy in Tennessee.
Yeah.
My man Jordan Davis he needs to learn some pass rushing first. He needs to learn how to rush the passer first before we even talk about him rushing. a mobile quarterback.
Right. The next they got 3 road games here in December. The first one at New York at the Giants, 1:00 game. What do we see here?
It's a win.
Okay.
In New York. Yeah. I don't know how you guys feel. I think Daniel Jones is just a placeholder at this point. I think he's just – I think they're dead.
No, I was going to say they chose the player over the coach. Hopefully give him one more year. So we'll see. We'll see how that works out.
I'm going with the upset on this one.
Okay.
I see that. It should be a win. Coming off a tough 3-game stretch, though, I can see the Giants taking that one. Kind of like how they upset the Eagles this year in a terrible game.
I think I feel you guys on that. Because, listen, it's a first of 3 road games. It's hard to say, like, the same conference is a trap game. But and you're playing on the East Coast, so it's kind of hard to say a trap game. But, like, yeah, I don't know. It's again, division games are always tough.
Right.
I can see them losing that game.
Yeah.
Then we've got week 15. We've got at the Chicago Bears, 1:00. What do we got here?
It's a win.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the game everybody I think has circled. I mean, you always circle the Dallas game every year. But this one's special. Christmas Eve, 4:25 game, the primetime 4:00 game or 4:30 game. At the Cowboys, man. It's good. It's good. If you guys celebrate Christmas Eve, I don't know what anybody celebrates. But it's gonna be a fun one.
Let me tell you something. I don't know what my brother's gonna do. So my brother is a diehard Cowboys fan.
Yep.
And I'm a diehard Eagles fan. Like that, the church is gonna have to be skipped on Christmas Eve this year. Like church is gonna have to get chalked this year. Like I don't see people going to church that they're gonna be doing a sermon with nobody in there unless everybody is on their phones.
Listen, man, if I mean morning mass, or you go to the midnight mass.
You could go to midnight mass.
Yeah, you sit next to your brother, you give him a little shove, little rib shot with the elbow, just like Siakam,
Too soon.
I'm sorry, that was too soon. Yeah. All right, so we got the final 2 games. We have home to the New Orleans Saints, 1:00 game, January 1st. I don't like that.
Yeah, it's a loss.
They played January 1st.
Yeah, that's a loss.
No, I just meant the date.
Huh?
I just meant the date. I don't like that they played January 1st.
It's in New Orleans, you said?
No, it's home.
Oh, it's home.
Yeah.
That's a loss to me.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know. I think New Orleans is going to stink this year. I think Jameis Winston is not a good quarterback. Yes, we do. New coach. Apparently,
but it's not
coming out of retirement.
It's not. The problem is it's not a new coach. Everybody keeps saying new coach. It's Dennis Allen. I mean, the dude's been there, right? It's Dennis Allen. They just promoted him.
If you had a gun to my head and asked me that question, I wouldn't.
I think they just promoted their offensive coordinator.
Yeah,
like I think it's not. I think it's just. You know what? I had a question because I know you're running out of time, Don. But this year in fantasy football, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you draft Taysom Hill, right? What does he get drafted as? Like tight end, but you get points.
He's dual. So he's got a quarterback and a tight end. Usually, it depends on your league.
So you're gonna draft, but what happens when he rushes a touchdown? Like that dude may be like if you're in a PPR league, I don't know. That may be a player to watch for in a fantasy show.
I had him played as a tight end when he quarterbacked the game last year against me, and it killed me. And I lost like 5 points. It was terrible.
And listen, this is like a totally different conversation for another day. But like, I could totally get into fantasy football, but like, I feel like that's so like not like you shouldn't be able to. You should like, I don't know. It's because it's tough to like to watch as a commissioner, but like I don't know. I feel like there should be rules in place. But again, that's another.
Don't say it because then you're blocking your boy Shohei. Don't say it.
I'm actually okay. I'm actually gonna keep my mouth shut about that. I'm actually not the biggest Shohei fan, but I think he should just be a hitter. I don't think he should. I think he's a good pitcher. I just think he should focus on one or the other. But again, that's another conversation for another day. And then to finish out the regular season, they are home against the New York Giants. Well, let's see what Mike has to say here. The New Jersey Giants. They finish out home against the Giants. The time is to be determined. And on ESPN, the tickets are starting at $97. So,
Jesus.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, to finish out the regular season, what do we got here?
I got a win there.
I agree.
Well, depends if they're clinched or not. If they're clinched, NFC East, they might not play. That may be a Minshew Mania game.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Or a Carson Strong game.
Yo, come on, that is my guy. I love Carson Strong.
We know from the.
I love me some Carson Strong.
Now, and hopefully, I think we're all hoping that that's a game that we sit all the starters because we're in the playoffs. Listen. I went to Xfinity Live. Was it against the Cowboys on that Saturday night game? And thank God I was drunk by halftime because that was not fun. But
yeah.
But yeah, so that kind of rounds out the schedule. Hopefully, we got more games after that because that means playoffs.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I think as a city we're excited, right? I think we're excited to watch the Eagles. Can't wait to be disappointed.
Yeah, right.
As always. But yeah. Anything else on the Eagles? Obviously, you guys are gonna have a whole summer to write about them. So
yeah,
and hopefully we can have all you guys on again as the summer goes on. But anything else you guys want to say? Final words.
Go Birds.
Go Birds.
Ball
Go
go
Birds.
boom.
All right, guys. Well, I want to thank you all for coming on. It went a little bit further than planned, than we usually do. But hopefully we gave a good show. Hopefully I hit that game-winning grand slam that I was talking about earlier. Maybe I just took the walk. Who knows? But
It works.
well, yeah. So
we're score a run.
What's that?
You still score a run with a walk.
But what if that next guy behind me is I don't know. I don't know. Some shitty player. I can't think of a
Dude, it could be Matt Stairs. It could be
Michael
Matt
Hernandez.
Stairs.
Odubel Herrera. Yeah.
Matt Stairs. Come on.
Yeah.
Right. All right. So closing out the show. Where can we find you guys? Give me a handle. Give me something. Twitter, Facebook, whatever. Obviously, you guys are all right on Phired Up.
Yeah. I am most active on Twitter.
Okay.
My handle is SGSM_Sully SULLY.
Awesome.
At Lucia_062521. It's my wedding day. Coming up on a year.
There you go. Yeah, it's almost there. Holy shit.
Yeah, I know.
And then Josh?
Twitter for me again at Josh Stern 23, capital J and S.
Awesome. And then again, you guys can, go on our website weekly. There's always, new stuff, some exciting stuff. So that'll wrap it up for us. Now I have to figure out how to end this for everybody. But yeah, so thanks for listening. Mike's going to be back next week. I had a blast. I hope everybody else did too. Like I said, we'll have you guys back on, as the show goes on. So, all right. See everybody next week.